So take just a moment and go find a yoga block, or maybe you find it could be a hardback, it could be something that's a soft cover book, but you are going to want to have that today. And we're going to start in a seated position all the way down on your mat. So take a moment and come into that comfortable cross-legged seated position wherever you are. Arms drape all the way out, maybe palms flip facing down on your knees, or perhaps palms could flip facing up. Now the nice thing about the practice today is that if you'd like to split off this first 15 minutes and make it a little bit of a shorter practice, you certainly can. So we're going to get straight into the work with just a few moments of centering. So as you find yourself into that seated position, maybe just kind of rolling back, sitting directly over the sits bones, shoulders, drawing down away from the ears, let your eyes close. And I want you to focus your awareness on that fine line between working and resting. Sometimes it's so easy to work so hard. That's where our comfort zone is in all of that frantic work and busyness. And it's a little tougher to slow down and just be in the space of resting, recovering. And I think collectively we're being called right now to reflect on those two pieces of our lives, the busyness and slowing down. And I want you to make this practice the same way, a reflection of when you're working really hard, could you be in that work? And when you have the opportunity to recover, could you take that opportunity fully? Start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, finding that ujjayi breathing if it serves you. Inhale, exhale. That little swirl perhaps in the back of your throat. On that next exhale, let your eyes open and take your legs and switch the crossing so your non-dominant crossing is happening. Dropping that right hand to the mat, left arm reaches up and over, taking a big lateral stretch. And then dropping that left hand, right arm reaches up and over, taking that big lateral stretch. And then come back to the center line and switch the crossing of your legs again, and walk your hands all the way out in front. Keep your spine nice and long at this point. Inhale to drag it a little further out. Exhale, maybe you come down a little more deeply into that forward fold. One more time. Inhale, spine goes a little longer. Exhale, you come down a little more deeply into that fold. And then walk those fingers back in towards your body. Keep your book close by your side. Bring the bottoms of your feet to the earth. Scoot yourself in just a little. Hook those hamstrings and roll yourself down onto your back. Draw your knees in towards your chest and give them a little rock from side to side. Take your right elbow and touch your right elbow to your right knee or your thigh, and stretch your left leg nice and long. Left arm goes over your head, so you're creating the connection between the right knee and elbow. Left leg stretches out nice and long. Tuck the tailbone under slightly, zipper in that low belly. We're going to bring left hand to left leg for 10 and bring it back down. Bring it up for 9 and back down. And 8. Beautiful. Last 7. Keep exhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Last 4. And 3. Point that left toe or flex the foot. And last 1. Good. Bend that left knee. Connect to the left elbow to the left knee or shin, or maybe you bring it all the way up onto the thigh. Reach the right arm, right leg long. Point that right toe and take it up to the midline. Excellent. Now what's happening with the back of the pelvis, with the back of the neck? Would you like to roll maybe a beach towel or a blanket behind the head and just really create that sense of your entire spine working for you on the mat? Take these last 4 and 3, last 2, and last 1. Good. Both knees pull in. Bump your elbows to your knees and flex your feet. Now I want you to take and press the lower back towards the mat. Not hard, just enough to kind of fill in that gap. We're going to reach away with both arms and legs and pull it back in. Reach away and pull it back in. Now the more towards 90 degrees with your legs you go, the sweeter it's going to be on the lower back and the hip flexors. So adjust accordingly. Taking those legs towards 90 degrees, if that feels like you. We've got 10 more. You can reach them low to the floor if you want a little bit more of a challenge. 8. Good. Keep breathing. 7. Really melting that lower back, pulling the low ribs in. Last 5. And 4. Good. Last 3. And 2. And last 1. Excellent work. Pull those knees in, give them a hug, a little rock from side to side. Take both knees over to the right, shift your hips to the left for a reclining twist. Reach your left arm up over your head. Maybe the back of the hand comes to the earth. Maybe right hand reaches down and touches that left knee or shin. Deep breaths in this space for 3. Beautiful. Exhale the knees back to the center line and walk the hips over to the right. As you spin the knees to the left, reach the right arm up and overhead. Find that pause. Keep the back of the head nice and long. Breathing here. Maybe you reach down with that left hand, touching that right knee. And slowly rolling onto your back. Take a moment to find your block or your book. Now, at the shortest edge, you're going to place your book or your block in between your right elbow and your right leg. Left leg drops out nice and long. Option to curl your head and shoulders off your mat or leave them back. Maybe left hand comes underneath your head. Left leg goes straight up and comes back down. Point the toe. Straight up. Imagine you're going into a single leg crow flipped in the opposite direction. So 10, lift and lower. 9, balance out the back of the pelvis. 8, point that left toe. 7, good, low belly hugs in. 6, and 5, you've got this. Last 4, and 3, last 2, and 1, good. Roll your head back, pull that left knee in, switch that book right against that left thigh, left elbow comes in. Right leg drops out long. Option to bring the right hand behind the head and curl up or leave it back. Here we go. Lifting up and bringing that right leg back down. Stay in the work. Hug that low belly in, find your breath, and do what's comfortable to your neck for 10 and 9. Last 8. Good. Point the toes. Keep the work in those muscles, not in the joints. Make sure you're looking at your book or your knee. Good. Last 5. You've got this. And 4. Hang in there. 3. Balance that pelvis out. Last 2. And last 1. Good. Pull both knees in. Relax your head back. Open your arms out into goalpost arms. And gently roll the right ear towards the floor. And then back to the center and the left ear towards the floor. Do that just a couple of times. Good, and then take those elbows back to the knees. Both elbows bump to the knees. Tuck the tailbone under, flex the feet this time. Now we're going to send it in opposite direction, so it's like a frogger. Bring it back in, elbows to knees, and push it out. We've got 10. Remember, take it up to 90 degrees if you'd like. 9. Keep breathing. 8. Lower back stays comfortable. Last 6. And 5. Good. Last 4. Flex your feet, make fists. 3. Hug that low belly in. Back of the head is firm on the earth. And pull it in. Good. Rock yourself a little from side to side and pull the knees in towards the chest a little tighter. We're going to lift up into shoulder stand. I know it feels a little early. Hug that low belly in. And if you'd like, you could take the book or the blocks and place them underneath the pelvis rather than lifting up and placing hands back there. Now, flex your right foot and start to drop it overhead. Reach up with your left leg. Change your mind. Bring that right leg up. Point the toe. Left foot flexes and drops back behind you. Now it doesn't have to touch the floor. Bring it back up. Point the toe. Hug the knees in towards the chest and roll down. Take your time. Once you get onto the earth, tip over towards your favorite side, rolling into that modified fetal position. And then press your way up to tabletop, your hands and knees. Taking a moment to come into that tabletop position, curl those fingers on the mat. Maybe you inhale, flare the tailbone back, drop the belly down, send your arm gaze to neutral. Maybe you exhale, tuck and roll through the spine. And then coming back into that neutral place, shift that right hip over to the mat and swing your legs around to the front. Grasping for those hamstrings, lifting the feet up, coming into that boat pose shape, reach the arms out. Just like we did the other day, we're going to peel that right arm back and take a twist. And come back to the center and peel that left arm back and take a twist. And come back to the center. One more time each side. Peel the arm back and take a twist. And peel the left arm back and take a twist. Slowly lowering your feet down to the mat. Drop your hands behind you and swing your legs from side to side like you're doing a little windshield wiper here. And then take that left leg and fold it underneath your body. Right leg goes on top for Gomukhasana, cow face. Dropping that left hand, right arm reaches up and over, taking a lateral stretch. Maybe that left elbow comes to the earth. Maybe you're walking the hand all the way out. Maybe spinning the heart open, looking up towards your right arm. Take 2 more breaths. Soften your jaw, your tongue, your teeth. Inhale to bring it back to the center line. Exhale, you're going to take a twist over your right side. So left arm maybe anchors to that right leg as you take a twist to the right. Inhale, spine works long. Exhale, deepening into the twist. Feel your legs squeeze together if possible, or straighten out that bottom leg if it's hard to bend both knees like this. One more breath. Spinning it back out to the center line. Drop your hands behind you and send your feet apart from one another, rocking it from side to side. Beautiful. Fold that right leg underneath yourself. Left leg goes up and over. Taking that Gomukhasana or cow face, drop that right hand to the mat. Left arm reaches up and over, taking that nice, juicy lateral bend. Maybe you walk the right fingers out. Maybe you drop down onto that right forearm. I'll leave it up to you. Feel that left hip anchor you down. Heart stays open. Maybe eye gaze goes up towards that left arm. Breathing into this space. Soften your jaw. Inhale back to the center line. We'll take a twist over that left side. Maybe right arm anchors to that outer left thigh. Inhale, heart goes high. Exhale, deepen your twist. One more big in-breath. Shoulders broaden here. And then slowly reversing back out. Hands drop behind you and working the legs apart from one another. Catch those hamstrings. You should be facing the original direction as you roll yourself all the way down onto your back. Draw those knees in towards your chest. Good. Curling head and shoulders off the mat. Make a fist with both hands and send your left leg long. Now we're going to take it in a little run, so you can bring that left elbow up a little if you'd like, and then switch. Right elbow comes up and switch. If you prefer not to add the running through the upper body, put your hands behind your head or release your head back onto the earth. Pump your arms as much as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw those knees in towards your chest. Gentle head rock. Take it side to side, left ear towards the floor, and then the right ear. Crossing at your ankles, starting to swirl the knees around to the right and to the left. Working out any tension in the back. We'll do that one more time. Curling head and shoulders off the mat. If that feels like you, drop your right leg long. Right elbow lifts just a little bit, almost like you're doing a tiny twist. And then switch. Left elbow lifts, right knee draws in, and switch. Switch, like you're running, laying down. Again, hands could anchor behind the head if you prefer. Leave tension in the feet. Beautiful work. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Roll your head back onto the mat. Maybe take that rock from side to side, but once you can, grab those hamstrings and start rocking yourself forward and back, coming into a seated position, facing in the original direction. Inhale to take that spine long. Exhale to tip back into that cat spine. One more time. Inhale to take your spine long. Exhale to tip back into cat. Inhale to come back to neutral, bringing the bottoms of your feet to the mat, working it back into that boat pose. Last time for boat. Stretch the heart high, maybe reach the arms out. Beautiful. We'll take that twist to the left first this time, reaching the left arm back, and bring it back to the center. And to the right, reach it back, and back to the center. To the left, reach it back, back to the center. To the right, reach it back. One more time, each side. Zipper up through that low belly, reach back with that left arm, back to the center. Reach back with that right arm, back to the center. Cross your right ankle over your left, rocking forward, coming into your tabletop position, switching your legs around to the side or coming over that collection of legs. Inhale, flaring your tailbone back, dropping the belly down, send the eye gaze to neutral. Exhale, tug and roll through the spine, coming into that cat stretch. Inhale, coming back to neutral. Exhale, find your child's pose. If you'd like to leave the practice now, take a moment to find that child's pose and breathe, or take a shavasana, short shavasana here. Honoring that 15 minutes that you spent in the practice. If you're staying with me this morning, inhale, rock forward onto the hands and the knees, coming to that tabletop position. And then curl your fingers under, give your mat a little massage. Center up with your left arm. Right arm reaches out, parallel to the floor. Inhale to take the right arm up. Exhale, pretend to dive it underneath the left arm. Change your mind. Inhale to take it up. Exhale, pretend to dive it under. One more time. Inhale to take it up. Exhale, right hand comes to the earth. Switches out for the left. Left arm reaches out. Inhale, it comes up. Exhale, pretend to dive it under. Inhale, it lifts up. Exhale, pretend to dive it under. One more time. Inhale, it lifts up. Exhale, left hand comes down under the left shoulder. Walk your hands forward, one palm's distance, tuck your toes. Lift your knees up, downward facing dog. Look forward towards your wrist, bend your knees, walk, float, tippy toe, or hop the feet in towards the hands. Inhale to take a little half lift. Exhale, back to your fold. Sit back, chair pose, Utkatasana. We'll take a dynamic chair, press the floor away and rise. Inhale, sit back. Relaxing the use of the arms if you prefer. We'll find 10 more right here. So less cardio, palms pressed to heart center. A little more cardio, arms reach up and overhead. 6 more. 6. Pressing into all 4 corners of the feet. Staying juicy and dynamic with yourself. Good, breathing. 3. And 2. And taking that last 1. Good. On this one, we'll sit back into chair and pause. Everyone drawing those hands down to heart center, feeling maybe that heart rate flutter just a little. Reach your arms behind you. Energize through the palms of your hands. Pull the low ribs in. We'll pulse the hands up. Stay back in your seat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweeping the arms back up. Press the floor away and rise. Leave your arms lifted overhead. Lift your right leg in the air. Breathe. Find your balance. Eyes go to something unmoving in the room. And then slowly take your twist over that right leg. So maybe left hand drops onto that right shin or knee. Maybe right hand drops behind you. As you take a twist over that side, keep your eyes on something unmoving. Give yourself a little grace this morning. The world is certainly turning a little differently. When you're ready, come back out to the center line. You've got this. Bend into that left knee. Shoot that right leg back, warrior 3 style. Reach the crown of your head long. You've got this. We're coming back up into that Shiva's pose. Maybe press the thumb and index finger together, opening the elbows out, goddess or goalpost arms. Sit back, chair pose, Utkatasana. Press the floor away and rise, dynamic chair. Palms could press or arms could raise up and overhead for 10. Good, 9. Really press the floor away with those glutes and hamstrings. Zipper that low belly in and breathe. 6 and 5. Last 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. And then stay. Finding that chair pose, drop in. Palms press down to heart center, find your breath. Arms reach back behind you if you'd like a little more. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another and pulse those hands up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, arms down to come up. Drop a little lower, you've got this. And then press the floor away and rise. Arms stay lifted overhead. Left leg comes up parallel to the floor. Now take a moment and find something to focus your eyes on. That's going to help with your balance as you start to twist over your left leg. Maybe arms drop down so that right hand touches that left knee. Maybe left hand touches the left hip. Keep your breath going, my friends. Squeeze that inner thigh, right side, and then left side. Come back to the center line, take your time. Slowly starting to tip, bending into that right knee. Kick that left leg back. Warrior 3 shape. Keep your heart yearning forward. And then bend into the right knee again. Swoop that left leg up, coming into dancing Shiva pose. Connecting the thumb and index finger, zipping up through that tight pair of jeans. Bending into your right knee, step back, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, swan dive over your legs, forward fold. Inhale, little half lift. Exhale, back to your fold. Bend your knees, sit back, chair pose. Good. Once you come to this space, press those palms together at heart center. Take a twist over the right side. Left elbow in contact with that right knee. Or maybe you decide to open the arms out, taking that broad wingspan. Looking down towards your left toes or up towards your right hand is completely up to you. Drop the hips a little lower, squeeze the inner thighs towards one another, bring the palms back together, sit back, chair pose. Press the floor away and rise, Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale to take those arms up and overhead. Bend your body over to the right as you interlace your fingers or flip your hands so that the soft part of your palms presses out towards the wall. Inhale to come back to the center line. Exhale to take it over to the left side. Inhale to come back to the center line. Separate your hands and sit back into chair pose. Drop those palms down to heart center and take a twist over to your left. Right elbow anchors to that left thigh. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another, maybe opening the arms out, broadening the wingspan if that feels like you. Reach through the thoracic spine if you do. Keep the head in line with the spine without dropping the right ear down. Keep reaching. Breathing into this space for 3, 2. Slowly melting those hands back together. Drop the hips a little lower. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, little half lift. Exhale, finding that fold. Sit back, chair pose on the next inhale. Good. Exhale, press the palms together right at heart center. We'll make it dynamic. Lift and lower, palms pressing at heart center. Really using those glutes and hamstrings today. One more time, make it dynamic. And we're gonna stay standing right here. Press that body weight into the left foot, lift the right thigh parallel to the floor. Option to take that right leg out in front of you. Plug those toes into a little outlet. Option, as you lift up through that heart, to lift up through the hands as well. Squeeze inner arms towards one another, find that L shape. Now take your right elbow and drop it to your right knee. Reach it back up and out. Right elbow to right knee, reach it out. Elbow to knee, reach it out. Twice more. Keep your eye gaze focused. Good, last time. Reach it out. Swing the hands behind you, tip from your hip, warrior 3 style. Reaching those arms back, pulse the palms up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Sweeping the right leg forward, bending through the knee, coming into that dancing Shiva. Maybe turn that right heel to the center line, open up the heart space. As you drop it back, come into a figure 4 variation, hooking that right ankle over that left thigh and finding a sit back. Reach the arms forward to find your balance. Breathe. Good work, my friends. Excellent job. Straighten it all the way up, stepping back into Tadasana mountain pose. Beautiful. Palms come to press right at heart center. Sit back. Dynamic chair. Press the floor away and rise. We've got 10. Arms can always reach up and overhead. Make sure you're really utilizing those muscles. So instead of just reflexively straightening through your knees and bending them, use the glutes, use the hamstrings. Last 3. and 2. Last one. Stay standing for me. Good. Now that left thigh comes up parallel to the floor. Maybe you decide to stretch the left toes out in front of you. Maybe you plug them into that light socket. Zippering up, finding your breath here. If you're here and you're feeling good, arms might reach up and overhead. Notice if that makes you lean back and rock a little body weight forward into that right leg. Now left elbow pulls to left knee and reach out. Left elbow pulls, reach out. Notice the places that you have to adjust to make this motion possible. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Swinging the hands behind you, tip from your hips, sweep it back into your warrior 3. Now, palms stay open to the ceiling, but left foot flexes. Hug that low belly and pulse those hands up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep it forward, tipping from the hip as you come into that dancing Shiva pose. Maybe left heel turns to the midline, zippering up, lifting up, stay tall. And then crossing maybe that left ankle over the right thigh. Start to descend into that figure 4 balance. You've got this, guys. Reaching the fingers forward. Squeeze those triceps. Nothing hanging, nothing loose. Zippering that low belly in. Sit back a little. Nice. Press the floor away. Stepping the feet together. Inhale, arms come up and overhead. Interlacing your fingers or flipping your palms so that the soft part of your hands drops out. Over to the left you go in reed pose. Inhale back to the center line. Over to the right you go. Inhale back to the center line. Exhale, twist to the right in your chair. Dropping left elbow to outer right thigh. Option to drop your hands to the earth and come into your side crow. Option to open the arms out or wrap your right arm behind your back. Taking that little partial bind. Finding your breath, opening up through both shoulders for 3. And 2. Dropping the hips a little lower, and I'll meet you back in that revolved chair pose. Look down at your right foot and kick your left heel back to your butt on that side. Option to reach back and tap with your right hand that left foot. Option to give it a good touch and hold the big toe side. Option to press the floor away and lift up into a revolved version of your King Dancer pose. Zipper low belly in, squeeze that left thigh. From wherever you are, I'll meet you back in chair. Inhale, sit back. Woo, you've got this. Exhale, swan dive over your legs. Inhale, little half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Now, as you press the floor away and rise, leave the arms lifted overhead. Again, interlace your fingers, release your index fingers, thumbs crossed. Take your body over to the right this side. And then come back to the center and over to the left. Nice big lateral bend. Back to the center you go. Plant your palms and sweep into that revolved chair on the left side. So right elbow, it doesn't even have to cross the midline. You could just drop that right hand to the middle. Or maybe you're crossing through the midline and anchoring. Maybe you're dropping your hands and taking that side crow, or opening the arms up, or wrapping the left arm behind your back. Play for a moment. Find your breath. Wherever you are, send that torso long. Keep breathing. Inhaling, you're breathing in. Exhaling, you're breathing out. I'll meet you back in that chair pose. Slowly sit back. Take your time. Keep your chair revolved for just a moment. Remember, right elbow might come to that knee, or maybe you drop the right hand to your book or to the floor. Look down at your left big toe and squeeze that right heel back to your butt. Take the options you'd like today. Reach back for that left foot. That's not your left foot, that's your right foot. Reach back for your right foot. Maybe you tap it a few times. Maybe you grab the inner edge or the outer edge and start to lift up. Finding that revolved version of your King Dancer. Left hand touching right foot. Open your heart, kick the foot into the hand, zipper that right knee in and lift up a little more. Good, from wherever you've been, I'll meet you back in chair pose. Woo! Exhale, swan dive over your legs, forward fold. Inhale, little half lift. Exhale, step just the left foot back. Leave the right foot forward. Inhale, rise to your crescent pose, your high lunge. Bend your right elbow and drop elbow to right knee. Reach out so that your left arm is a natural extension of your left leg. Now, make things a little tricky here. Change balance and lift the left toes and reach out with the left arm and step back. Again, could you keep the right elbow and right knee connected as you reach out? And lift up and step back. One more time. Maybe keep it connected, reach out, lift up, and step back. Good. Dropping your hands down around your right foot, step back into your plank position. Lower your knees to the earth, coming to tabletop. Working your hands back under your shoulders, center up with your left arm. Inhale to take the right arm up. Exhale, dive your right arm under your left arm. Right temple comes to the earth, reach that left arm out. Maybe step the left foot back. Maybe hover the left toes in the air. 2 more breaths, wherever you are. Slowly walk the left knee back in if it's extended, walking that left hand back in, pulling your way back up to tabletop position. Good. Slide your hands forward, 1 palm's distance, tuck your toes, lift your knees, press up and back, downward facing dog. Look forward towards your wrist, bend your knees, walk float tippy toe, or hop the feet in towards the hands. Inhale, little half lift. Step just the right foot back on the exhale. Inhale, rise into your high crescent pose. Good. Now, bend through that left elbow. You're going to make contact, left elbow, left knee or thigh. Right arm reaches out as a natural extension of that right leg. Now, look forward and just play with lifting that right leg up. Step it down gently. Practice lifting that right leg up. And step it down. And one more time, change balance, reach, reach, reach. Good, and step it back. Drop your hands down and around that left foot. You've got this. Step back into your plank position. Lower your knees and walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Reach that left arm out. Inhale to take the left arm up. Exhale, dive it underneath the right arm, thread the needle. Place that left temple to the mat, walk the right hand forward. Maybe step the right foot back. Maybe as you press that left shoulder into the mat, you start to hover that right leg up. Breathe into this space for 3. Zippering that low belly up and in, reaching long. And then slowly walk that right knee back into the center line. Walk the right hand back in, coming back to tabletop position. Inhale, flaring your tailbone back, dropping the belly down. Send that eye gaze to neutral. Exhale, tuck and roll through your spine. If you hung in there with me for half an hour, stay for another half an hour. Or if you need to get back to other things, I totally understand. So please feel free to take a little shavasana or a child's pose here, or a seated meditation. And then as you exhale, walk your hands forward, tuck your toes under, lift your knees, press your chest back to your thighs, look forward towards your wrist, walk float tippy toe or hop the feet in towards the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, clasp your opposite elbow and take a little sway. If you prefer, you can just drag the backs of your hands on the earth. See if you can rock a little body weight forward and lift those hips up into the air. A little less pressure on the wrists today, so maybe rotate wrists, open and close the fingers. Inhale to take your half lift, flat back when you're ready. Exhale back to your fold. Again, maybe you change your hands and slide them around and hook the heels. Really lifting up through the sits bones. Take 2 more breaths. Maybe again you're loving that clasp of the opposite elbow or interlacing your fingers on the back of your head. Inhale to find that half lift once again. You might want your book or your block as you step just the left foot back into pyramid pose or Parsvottanasana. Inhale to take your half lift. Maybe your hand works to the block, keeping that low belly working nice and high. Maybe you're taking an option this time to reach back and grab your opposite elbow and finding that little tip from the hip. Press your right foot forward. Press your left foot back. Find your breath here. Inhale, eye gaze goes long. Press the feet apart from one another. Zipper the low belly. 1 more breath. And then from wherever your hands have been, work them to your hips. Press your feet apart and rise all the way up. Reach your left arm up as high as it'll go. As you exhale, reach the left arm all the way out and drop that left hand to your block, to the floor, or to the outside of your right foot. Start to twist open into your revolved triangle pose. As you come into this space, reach evenly, fingertip to fingertip. Deep breaths. Eye gaze might go down or it might go up. Keep drawing the right hip back and feel free to step your feet farther apart from one another. One more big inhale. As you exhale, reaching that right arm back down, bend into the right knee. Send your eye gaze forward and your hands forward and lift that left leg. Exhale to pull the left knee in and step it down. Inhale, little half lift. Again, utilizing your book or your block. Step the right foot halfway back, slightly wider. Inhale, half lift. Again, you might stay in that half lift space. Oh, it feels so nice to the hamstring. Draw that low belly and find your power. Maybe you utilize your opposite hand on your opposite elbow to find a little balance work here. Maybe you're taking that moment to reach the spine long. Press the feet apart from one another. Draw the low belly in, then starting to find your fold. Work that left hip back. Send that right hip forward. You can do hard things. Listen to your breath. Listen to your body. From wherever your hands have been, work them to your hips, rising all the way up. Reach that right arm mightily in the air. Zipper that low belly. Reach that right arm as long as it'll go. And when it can't reach any further, drop it to your block, to your book, to the floor, to the inside, or maybe across the midline to the outside of that left foot, opening that left arm up, coming into that revolved triangle. Now, as you do this, if you find you need to work the feet apart from one another, if you have trouble drawing that front hip back, build the floor up to you. Use your block, use your book, draw that left hip back. Send the right hip forward, exhale, the left hand comes back down. Looking forward, bending into the left knee, lift that right leg. Exhale, pull the right knee in and step it down. Inhale, little half lift. Exhale, back to your fold, sit back, chair pose. Good, press the floor away, leave your arms lifted overhead. Interlace your fingers, release your index fingers, thumbs cross. Take a tip to the left. Reaching out, press that right hip out. Inhale back to the center line and twist to your right. Left elbow touches that right outer thigh. Twisted, revolved chair. Option to open the arms or take a side crow or maybe an Ekapada Kundanyasana. If you're feeling a little spicy this morning, you can always drop into those arm balances. I'll meet you back in this revolved chair pose. Take a moment, sit back into chair. Now, squeeze those inner thighs towards one another and revolve back. Left elbow touches that thigh. Look down at the right big toe and kick the left heel back behind you. Option is to reach back and touch that left foot. Option to grab a hold of it and start to squeeze the right leg in as you reach up into that revolved dancer pose. Maybe you tip a little bit, yearning that heart up, kicking that foot up. Squeeze that left knee in. I know it's tough. Slowly, I'll meet you back in chair pose. Drop the foot, sit back. Exhale, swan dive down over your legs. Inhale, little half lift. Exhale, step just the left foot back, leave the right foot forward. Inhale, rise to your high crescent pose. Exhale, bend right elbow to right knee. Reach the left arm long. Lift the left foot up if you'd like. Pause or drop it down a few times and lift it back up. I'll leave it up to you. Are you staying in that funky warrior 3 variation, or are you dropping that left foot down and lifting it back up? When you're ready, drop it down. Drop the hands down and around your right foot. Step back, plank position. Rock slightly forward. Lower your knees, untuck your toes. Lower your chest and your chin and scoop into your baby cobra. Lower that forehead down to the mat. Reach your arms back. Inhale, Shalabhasana locust pose. Keep reaching. Find endurance. Find maybe a place where your breath can hang out. Reach through the feet and the hands. Sliding your hands back underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes. We're headed to plank. So zipper the low belly in, lower the knees first if you'd like, and come back in your time to plank position. As you exhale, lift up and back, finding downward facing dog. Look forward towards your wrist, bend your knees, walk, float to the tour, hop the feet in towards the hands. Inhale, little half lift. Exhale, back to your fold. Step just the left foot back, halfway, slightly wider. Inhale, little half lift. Exhale, maybe you reverse your namaste, pressing your palms together. Maybe you take your opposite elbow behind your back, or maybe you leave your hands down on the earth. Inhale, work the heart long. Exhale, find that tip from the hip. Finding your strength and your power, keep your heart open. From wherever your hands have been, shift them to your hips. Work your heart long. Inhale, rise all the way up, press through your feet. Reach that left arm all the way up. Exhale, reach the left arm all the way forward. Drop it to the floor, and taking that twist open into that revolved triangle. Now, press back through the left heel. Open-heartedness, 2 more breaths. You got this. Exhale, taking that right hand back down. Bend your right knee, slide your fingers forward, lift that left leg up into the air. Exhale, pull the left knee in towards the belly, step the left foot down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, sit back, chair pose. You've got this, guys. Press the floor away and rise. Interlace those fingers, release the index fingers, thumbs crossed, bend your body to the right. Press that left hip out, reach. Inhale, back to the center line, revolve over to the left. Right elbow might come in contact with that left thigh. Low belly lifts up and in. Maybe opening the arms, maybe dropping the hands and taking an arm balance here. You know your practice the best. Or stay in the work with me in that revolved chair. Now, centering up, reach the torso long. Look down at the left big toe and kick the right heel back to your butt on that side. Stay in the work, my friends, whether that's reaching that left hand back to grab your right foot or capturing that foot and kicking up, finding that revolved dancer pose. It's okay to wobble. We all wobble every day in life. Maybe you take a little tip forward, kick that foot up, squeeze the knee in, squeeze the hips towards one another, draw the low belly in. Good. Bending into the knee. I'll meet you back in chair pose. Exhale, swan dive down over your legs. Inhale, half lift. Step just the right foot back. Leave the left foot forward. Inhale, rising to your high crescent pose. Then that left elbow in contact with the left knee or thigh. Reach the right arm long, and maybe you tip forward and lift and hold. Maybe you step back with those right toes a few times. Wherever you are, find your breath. Inhaling, you're breathing in. Exhaling, you're breathing out. Stepping the right toes back. If they're lifted, drop the hands around that left foot. Step back, plank pose. Rock slightly forward, lowering chaturanga or knees, chest, and chin. Switching to baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling to find downward facing dog. That's your only vinyasa for the practice. Look forward, bend knees, walk float tippy toe, or hop the feet in towards the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step just the right foot halfway back, slightly wider. Inhale, little half lift. Hands might work behind you for a challenge. They might work into that reverse prayer position. Zipper low belly, send the left foot forward, send the right foot back. Open your heart, particularly if you have your hands behind you. So rather than closing in, open those shoulders, open the collarbone section of the chest. From wherever your hands have been, send them to your hips and rise up strongly. Utilize those core muscles. Reach that right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Reach the right arm all the way out. When you get as far as you can, drop that right hand down. Coming into that revolved triangle, a little shorter hold this time. Left arm might peel up or stay in your hip pocket. Draw the left hip back. Press the feet apart from one another and breathe. Eye gaze can go down towards your right hand, or you can catch a glimpse of that left hand with your right eye. Draw shoulders back. One more breath. Exhale, bringing that left hand down. Bend your left knee. Send your fingers forward. Lift that right leg up. Pull the right knee in and step it down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, clasping opposite elbow overhead, sway. Now, if you're like me and you tend to lean back a little in your forward fold, rock a little body weight forward into the balls of your feet, or press your hands on your outer shins. Press the shins out into your hands and lift those hips a little higher, stretching into all the hamstrings. Good. Dropping your fingers to shins or floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, back to fold. Root down, rise up. Reverse your swan dive. Leave your arms reaching up and overhead as you lift that right leg up into the air. Foot stays flexed. When you're ready, drop your twist over that right side. Now, option to touch the leg, option to maybe grab that big toe or the pinky toe edge of the foot and extend the leg out. Keep your eyes on something unmoving. Draw the low belly in and find your breath. Give yourself a little grace here as you rebend that knee, coming back into that standing balance space. Good. Contact your right elbow to your right knee. Pause. Zipper low belly in. Make a fist with your right hand. You've got this. Now see if you could ride that back. How far could you go to ride it back into your warrior three? Reaching both arms behind you when you get there. Breathe, open-heartedness, maybe interlacing the fingers behind your back. Wrists get a big break today in our yoga practice. Separate the hands if they're bound together. Tip from the hip to draw that right leg back up. Dancing Shiva pose. Woo! Maybe you rotate that ankle. Maybe you're ready to cross that right ankle over the left thigh. And maybe you'd like to drop your hands forward, look forward, and start to make yourself into a little floating flying pigeon. Press the foot against the arms and maybe lengthen that left leg back out. Or stay in your nugget. Or stay in that figure four balancing stretch. We'll all meet back in that figure four balance. Take your time to get there. Straighten a little through that left leg, step both feet down, finding your strong mountain pose. Inhale. Cleansing breath out, let it go. Inhale to take the arms up and overhead. Left thigh works out, parallel to the floor. Now you might stay just here. Maybe this is your balance play today. Or maybe you start to take that twist over the left side. If you're happy, stay. Little Captain Morgan pose. Or reach down, grab that left foot, and start to extend it out. Draw your low belly in, squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. Your body knows this pose from your revolved triangle, so breathe into it. Just flipped in a different direction according to gravity. Give yourself a little grace to bend that knee as you start to come back out. Now, press that left elbow to that left knee. Could you ride it all the way back? Find that hold as long as you need to. See if you can find that pattern of movement that allows you to reach it back into warrior three. Maybe in warrior three, as you square the hips, you interlace the fingers and really open that heart space. If you're interlacing your fingers, remember not to hyperextend through your elbows, so don't jam them out. Just keep them sweet. And releasing your hands, coming back into that dancing Shiva pose. Maybe turning that left heel in. You could stay as long as you'd like. Or you could anchor that left ankle over that right knee, coming into your figure four balance. Find your balance by focusing your eyes on something unmoving, or drop your hands to the earth. Curl your fingers onto the mat, like you're massaging your mat. Press that left foot against your arms, look forward, and lift that foot. Maybe pressing the foot a little harder, reach that right leg back. Or stay in that figure four balance. I'll meet you there. When you're ready, straightening a little through that right leg, dropping into Tadasana mountain pose. Close your eyes, inhale through your nose. Strong exhale, let it go through nose or mouth. Inhale, microscopic back bend. Exhale, palms drop down to heart center. Keep your eyes soft or closed as you listen to the rhythm of your breathing. And opening your eyes, shifting your body weight into your left foot, lifting that right leg up. Good. Take a moment to tip back into warrior three-ish. And when you're ready, opening up through that left hip, see if you can step back into warrior two. Heel toe your right leg back, reach long from fingertip to fingertip. Deep inhale, long exhale, settle the shoulders. Bend that left elbow and touch it to that right thigh or knee. Maybe that right arm reaches straight up. So left elbow, left knee. Maybe right arm wraps behind your back, taking that partial bind. Maybe you look down into your left palm. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Press that left inner thigh forward. Reach that right arm back up and out. Disconnect left elbow from left thigh, rising back up. Inhale, straighten through that left leg. Turn all 10 toes. Exhale, tip from your hip, finding your forward fold. Inhale, take a little half lift. Exhale, bend into the left knee and the right knee, taking that little Skandasana from side to side. Now you're gonna pivot away from me, but don't worry, I'm still here. Pivoting around towards your right foot at what used to be the back edge of your mat. Step your left foot in to meet your right foot. Inhale, take your half lift. Exhale, back to your fold. Root down, rise up, reverse your swan dive. Exhale, your palms come to press right at heart center. Breathe. Get in touch with your breath. Soften your jaw. Now lift that left leg up, left thigh parallel to the floor. And then slowly start to kick it back. Bending both knees as much as you need to. Open through that right hip. Send that left leg back into warrior two. See if you could step down very quietly. Reach the arms long, descend the shoulders. Flip that right palm up and just drop the right elbow to the right thigh. Press that left hip slightly back. Maybe left arm reaches straight up towards the ceiling. Maybe left arm wraps behind your back, taking that partial bind. Find your breath. Soften your jaw. Maybe looking down into the palm of your right hand. Feel the shoulders open. Feel the neck nice and sweet. Reach that left arm out, separating the right arm from the right leg, coming back up into warrior two, straightening through that right leg. Turn all 10 toes. Woo, exhale, tip from your hip, find your fold. Inhale, take a little half lift. Exhale, maybe walk your elbows down to the earth. Maybe you start to rock a little weight forward and back a few times, just taking a little bit of that power into the forearms. Maybe this is that moment where you interlace your fingers and take a headstand. Or maybe you turn around and take a handstand hop or a crow pose. Find the inversion of your choice. And remember that in Prasarita Padottanasana, you are already in an inversion. Keep pressing your feet apart from one another, lifting through those inner thighs, lifting the sits bones up, letting that liquid body recircle, recycle, coming back down into the brain. And when you're ready, walking back to fingertips, take your time. Pivoting back towards your left foot, or what used to be the front edge of your mat. Stepping your left foot back to meet your right foot in your plank position. Lower your knees first if you'd like, or when you're ready, lower the right elbow under the right shoulder and the left elbow under the left shoulder, coming into your forearm plank. Make fists with your hands if that feels like you. Or we tried this variation the other day where you take I Dream of Genie arms. So crossing and taking your opposite hand to your opposite elbow once again, but this time in front of your body, drawing lots of length into the body, finding your breath. Keep your head in line with your spine, press your heels back, knees can come down if you'd like. Breathing here for 5. Feel those shoulders work. Zipper that low belly in. We're in the home stretch, my friends, so stay with me. Good, last 2 breaths. That was probably really bad counting on my part. Slowly lower your knees down to the earth. Untie your arms from one another and sit back, child's pose. I'm such a stickler for evening out, so as you come forward, walking those forearms down to the earth, stepping the feet back, we'll take our very last hold in this space. So take the opposite crossing. So if you crossed right arm in front of left last time, cross the opposite way. Draw the low belly in. You can always walk your feet wider apart if you want it a little sweeter, or you can step your feet really narrow if you want it a little spicier. If you want it spicier even yet, take that yoga block and step your feet up onto your yoga block or onto your book. Breathing here for 5. Good. Zipper that low belly in. Find that little tight pair of jeans and put them on. Soften your jaw. Good. Take these last 2 breaths. Really inhale. Really exhale. Feel how strong you are. And then soften knees down to the earth. Walk it back to child's pose. Stretch the arms nice and long. Knees could be wide or knees could be close. Inhale, drawing your way back to your tabletop position. Shift your left hip over to the side and swing your legs around to the front edge of your mat. Keep your book or your block close by your side as you catch those hamstrings and roll yourself down all the way onto your back. Draw the knees in towards the chest and give yourself that little rock from side to side, breaking up any tension that might be there in the lower back from our flow. Place that book or block on its most narrow level between that right thigh and right elbow, and reach that left leg long. Reach the left arm long overhead. Balance the pelvis, draw the low belly in, reach both up towards the ceiling. Point that left toe, reach it long and up to the ceiling for 10. Stay with your breath. Good, last 8. Press that arm against that book. Don't let it drop. If you've got a book, it's a little heavier, might be a little harder to hold there. Maybe you bring that right thigh a little closer in if you're having trouble squeezing it. Maybe you lift the right shin parallel to the floor. Take these last 3. And 2. And last 1. Good. Bend both knees. Switch that book between that left thigh and that left elbow. Reach the right arm and right leg nice and long. Again, point the toes, maybe lifting up through that left shin to make it a little more challenging. Reach the right arm, right leg to the center line and take it back out. You can always bend through the knee if you'd like. No reason to keep it super straight. We've got 10 right here. Feel a position where your lower back is comfortable. 9. Keep working, keep breathing. 8. And 7. Think about that core strength. Remember, we're thinking about putting all of our effort into the motions of work and all of our sweetness into the motions of relaxation today. Last 5. Go with your breath. Last 4. And 3. Last 2. And last 1. Coming back to the center line, bend both knees. Ditch your book or your block out of the way. Press both knees and elbows together. So you're making yourself into like a little kind of driving position here. Tuck the tailbone under and see if you can press the elbows and the knees together and hold for 5. Squeeze inner thighs, tuck that low back to the floor, shoulders stay down away from the ears, keep the squeeze on, isometric contraction. Good, now reach everything away and pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, take those legs as much up towards the ceiling as you'd like, and then bring it back in. Hold it here. Squeeze elbows and knees together. 5. Squeeze low belly in. 4. Make fists with your hands. Relax the back of your neck. Keep it long. Don't let that lower back really arc up off the floor. Keep the low belly tucked in and reach long. Remember, you can reach up towards 90 degrees for that. 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more time. Draw it in. Tight, tight, tight. Press your forearms against your thighs as hard as you can. If that makes you round your head off the floor, that's fine. Just look down between the knees to keep that neck in line with the spine. Last 2 breaths. Last 1. See if you can get your head back on the earth as you reach your legs and arms long into a big star pattern. So don't give in, don't give up. Breathing into this space. Tuck that low belly in. Tuck the lower back down towards the earth and take 1 more breath. Good. Draw those knees in towards your chest. Maybe a little sigh of relief as you rock from side to side. Keep those knees in. Utilizing your book underneath your sacrum or lifting your hips, catching your lower back, lifting up into shoulder stand. And reach the feet straight up towards the ceiling. Maybe working your hands onto the back of your pelvis, working your elbows together. Flex through your left foot and drop that left leg back. Reach up with your right leg and feel the balance of the 2. Reach that left leg back up from the pit of your low belly. Flex that right foot and reach it back. It doesn't have to hit the floor. Keep reaching the left leg up to take any pressure out of the neck. Reaching that right leg up as well. Good. Reach, 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 and then pull the knees in towards the chest and slowly descend from wherever you've been. Drawing the knees down. Step your feet to the floor. Take the hips over to the left and fold both knees over to the right. Reaching that left arm out, maybe looking over towards that left hand. Exhale to draw the knees back to the center line. Touch your toes down, shift your hips over to the right. Both knees drop to the left, reaching the right arm out, perhaps maybe looking towards that right hand. Exhaling the knees back to the center. Step the bottoms of the feet down to the mat. Press them in. Tuck the tailbone under, lifting up into your hip bridge. Really press those arms into the mat. Maybe even walking the hands together underneath your body. Zipper through that low belly. Lift, 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 and squeeze the glutes a little here for 5. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Turn on those inner thighs. Zippering that low belly up and in. Feeling that inhale and exhale. Slowly rising to those tippy toes. Exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time. Let the knees windshield wiper from side to side. When you come back to the center, option to take once again that hip bridge. Press the palms down, tuck the tailbone under, and roll to rise into that hip bridge. Option to flip your hands so that your fingers point towards your shoulders and take a full wheel pose if you feel that's in your practice today. Feel those inner thighs energize. Feel yourself lifting up through the glutes, through the hamstrings. Give them a good squeeze here. If you're pressing up into your full wheel pose, just like you did through the rest of the practice, squeeze those inner thighs towards one another. Wherever you are, take 2 more breaths. See if you can find that stillness amidst the practice. And then rising up to those tippy toes, slowly roll down one vertebra at a time from wherever you have been. Draw the knees in towards the chest and give it a good rock from side to side. Take your book or your block and place it down just past your groin. Put the bottoms of your feet together with the outer edges on your book or your block, opening your knees out to the side in a little hovering version of that reclining butterfly. Close your eyes. Start to let the belly inflate on the inhale. On the exhale, the belly falls. Inhale, the belly expands. Exhale, the belly lowers. Inhale, filling the body fill with breath. Exhale, feeling that relaxation. If you'd like to use your hands to close your knees back together and moving your book or your block, take a more traditional Shavasana here, stretching the legs all the way out, reaching the arms open to your sides, letting the shoulder blades pull together along your back. Take a moment to close your eyes and let your head roll from side to side until you find just the right spot to rest your head. In your mind, repeat after me. Feet, legs, relax. Hips, thighs, relax. Lower back, pelvis, relax. Abdominal muscles, mid-back, shoulders, relax. Fingers, hands, relax. Arms, relax. Neck, chest, relax. jaw, tongue, teeth. Relax. Eyes, nose, mouth. Relax. Scalp, forehead, back of the head. Relax. Ever so slowly start to wiggle those fingers and toes. Maybe take a big stretch in two opposite directions. Maybe drawing the knees in towards the chest, making yourself into that little yoga ball for just a moment. And then tipping towards your favorite side, to the right or the left. And once it makes sense to your body, I'll meet you back in your comfortable seated position, your Sukhasana, your sweet seat. I'm pressing one palm against the other. Inhale, lifting the heart into the thumbs. Exhale, dipping your chin down in acknowledgement of your practice today. You did it. You found that play between working as hard as you can and recovering. Could you press that awareness out into the rest of your day? Into the rest of your week? Into the rest of your month? As the busyness starts to subside, could you allow yourself that time to recover, to rest, to revitalize, just like you did this morning? My name is Megan. It's been a great honor to guide you through. The light in me sees, loves, and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for being with me this morning. Remember, I want to see your practice space. So if you're practicing with me at home, take a picture of your mat or your setup or wherever it is you are, because I want to see it. You see me here back in the studio or maybe sometimes at my house on the back porch. So I want to see where you're at so we can keep connecting with one another. Thank you guys so much for being with me today. I'll see you again on Sunday.